Good morning. Yes, there we go. Good morning. Mr. Kramer and the Parker Band, and you'll also notice there's some other faculty also playing over there. Mr. Miller, Mr. Ford, Ms. Ongdeen, Dr. Gongaware, thank you so much for providing music for us for today. And of course, those are all Parker students who are giving up their first morning of summer to come and celebrate the graduating class of 2030. So thank you to you as well, students. So we begin today by welcoming you parents, grandparents, sisters, brothers, cousins, aunts, uncles, friends, because the young scholars whose promotion we celebrate today, the Parker class of 2030, reflect not only their own hard work, but the love, care, nurture, and cheering of all of you. On behalf of us all in the middle school, I would like to thank you for partnering with us during this formative time in your child's life. It's a fun, challenging, and often goofy time of life, and it's such a joy to share in it with you. The work of the middle years centers on continuing the excellent work of the elementary level, providing the boundaries and guidance necessary to develop individuals of good character, sharpening the skills necessary to be independent learners, deepening content knowledge, and preparing students for the next step of their educational journey. While today is a moment in time that concludes these students' middle school journey, it's important to recognize that the work of these years is accomplished a moment at a time through the relationships that teachers have built with their students. Please join me in acknowledging the excellent work of these dedicated faculty and all that they have done on behalf of the class of 2030 and literally thousands of other students. Before we move into our program, I'd like to take a moment and recognize two very special faculty members today who are retiring from Parker. In effect, they're graduating along with the class of, or being promoted with the class of 2030 or graduating with the class of 2026, whichever way you want to look at it, into the next stage of their life. If you could please stand, Heidi Baumgartner and John Herman. And now I would like to invite this year's ASB Vice President, Evan Sen, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Evan?
Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Remove all hats and put your right hand over your heart as we bring our attention to the flag. And begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Now I would like to introduce our head of school, Dr. Kevin Yaley.
Well, good morning to all of our parents and to all of our families, to all of our faculty and staff. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for all you continue to do for this group of amazing students. So this morning, I want to share with you a few thoughts about words. But before I do that, I want to introduce you to a famous movie character with whom I share a few qualities. We are both relatively tall, wear glasses, or in his case, goggles. Neither of us are the smartest in our respective groups, but we both ended up in a position of leadership. We both enjoy golf, although I have never played cricket like he has. We both have hair, though I do have a little bit more hair than him. We both share the same first name, and while we sort of look alike, he is yellow. Any guesses? Can you see the resemblance? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to have him sit over here. So you guessed it. Kevin the Minion. Now, if you have ever seen any of the movies in the Despicable Me franchise, you will probably recognize Kevin. So, what does Kevin have to do with words? Depending on how many of the Minion movies you have watched, you might be able to speak a little bit of Minionese, a language, a legitimate language that combines elements of French, English, Japanese, Korean, Italian, Spanish, Hindi, German, and a few select culinary terms weaved in. But whether you speak a little bit of Minionese or none at all, when we watch the Minions and listen to Kevin speak, I am certain that all of us can actually understand what Kevin is saying. Now, how is this possible? How can we understand words spoken by Kevin the Minion when we do not know the meaning of those words? Because we can see how these words make the people around Kevin feel. And then we understand exactly what Kevin is saying. When we see how the other minions react to Kevin's word, their expressions of happiness, of fear, of being a part of the team, or being left out, we understand the meaning of the words Kevin is speaking, even though he is speaking in a language we can't speak ourselves. And why is this? Because the words we choose when we speak to others, no matter the language in which they're spoken, profoundly shape the way we feel. When we feel included or loved, and when we feel left out or disliked, it is ultimately the result of the things others have said to us or about us through the words they choose to speak. Words in any language are powerful. When I was in high school, there were two friends who made me feel two very different ways. One friend, Tristan, made me feel really good about myself. And the other friend, Jason, made me feel, well, not so good about myself. Now, Tristan, Jason, and I spent a lot of time together in middle school. We had classes together, we played soccer together, we actually rode the bus home together. We'd occasionally tease one another. We laughed a lot. We listened to similar music, watched similar movies, and on occasion, we probably annoyed our teachers. But by the time we got to high school, while Tristan and I remained close, Jason and I fell apart. Looking back, I now understand that it all came down to how the things Tristan and Jason said to me made me feel. With Tristan, whenever something good would happen to me, his go-to line was constant. He would look at me and say, "Dude, you rock." Now, students, you're going to have to trust me on this one, but I promise you that growing up in the 1980s, there may not have been a higher form of praise given from one middle schooler to another than, "Dude, you rock." On the other time, anytime I did something not so impressive, bad grade on a test, missed a shot on goal, Jason would say to me, "Dude, you stink," or some slight variation of that. Now, on the surface, these words, "Dude, you rock," "Dude, you stink," seem fairly innocuous, pretty harmless. Yet the words we choose to say when we speak to others or comment about others, the words we choose to either celebrate or degrade others, carry a power and an influence that is often much greater than we realize, even when the words seem harmless. Words are powerful. The impact they have on how we make others feel can last longer than when the words are spoken. And no matter the language of the Minions, the dude language of the 1980s, or any other language, our words may be the most powerful thing we possess. Words can inspire, words can uplift, words can make us laugh until our bellies hurt. Words can comfort, words can heal, and words can encourage us to achieve things that we didn't even think possible. And words can hurt. Words can tear down. Words can isolate and leave scars that last a lifetime. And while Kevin the Minion and I speak different languages, There is one thing Kevin and I have in common. In fact, it is the one thing we all have in common. We have our words. And no matter the language, our words have the power to make others feel good. Simple words like great job, well done, you're amazing, thank you, hang in there, dude, you rock. And probably the most powerful two words in any language that we often forget to use, I'm sorry. And in the language of Minions, I'm sorry would sound like Bidoo. I really looked that up. Words are powerful because more than anything else, they impact how others feel. So let's all choose to be a little bit more like Kevin the Minion and use the power of our words to uplift, to congratulate, to inspire, to bring a smile to another's face, and to brighten someone else's day. On behalf of all the Minions out there, I will end this morning by saying to each of our students, Kanpai. Translation, cheers, congratulations, we are so proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yaley. We'll have some Minion dictionaries at the door. Every year we are so blessed to have several talented members of the class who would like to perform during promotion, and this year is no different. I'd like to present Kira Brennan, Olivia Berry, Isaac Luo, Hannah Grigsby King, and Audrey Rademacher performing Air in F Major by George Friedrich Handel. So it's okay to be a little jealous because as we walk around campus every day and I walk by Dr. Gongaware's string studio, well, you know, we pause for a little impromptu concert. So thank you to all our musicians. Each year we're also fortunate to have several 8th grade students request to speak at promotion, and it's always difficult to make a selection from all of the thoughtful and well-written remarks submitted to the 8th grade team for consideration. This year, we were honored to hear from Tristan Gunn.
As I reflected on my middle school journey and experiences, I came to the conclusion that it is very similar to a plane flight. Just like a flight, middle school has a beginning and an end. At the start, it can feel scary, chaotic, and maybe even impossible to survive. And it might take a while to lift off because everything has to be prepared and accounted for. This is often the hardest part of the journey, for some. But during this time, it's important to remember that you are safe, that there are students and people or attendants there to help guide you through. Once the plane reaches a steady pace in the air, things begin to feel calmer. You gain peace of mind and realize you're doing just fine. The journey becomes smoother, and you begin to feel more comfortable with who you are. Now, you might get a little bored along the way, so you might pick up some hobbies to keep busy and having fun on your trip, like watching a robotics competition on your computer, reading an old Shakespeare monologue, listening to a history podcast, or talking to a friend about the latest football game. Your new hobbies and interests provide you entertainment for the flight. It might just stick with you for your life beyond. Or maybe even start talking to someone who's sitting next to you. As you start sharing, you might realize that it brings you a sense of joy to talk to them. Sometimes you lose touch after the flight, or you stay connected, but whatever happens, they mattered in your journey. When you're at a cruising altitude, you may look out the window and see just how big and bright this beautiful world is. You may glimpse at the wonders of Taiwan, France, Costa Rica, and/or Spain. And because you had the opportunity to experience and take note of such wonderful places, you're aware of what our world looks like. You may view and see some of the most spectacular sights of mountains, waterfalls, palaces, and skyscraper buildings, which overall make you appreciate the world in its natural beauty. As the plane ride is finally coming to an end, you may feel happy, but also a little sad, anxious, and maybe even scared for the future. Landing can be just as scary as taking off, for some. It's fast and chaotic as well, with so much going on. And maybe it's hard to go from a steady pace to an accelerating speed going down. Landing back on the ground can be scary and can feel like everything's going to crumble. But after a couple seconds, everything feels fine, and you start looking for what's next in your journey. Overall, I think that every flight has a purpose in one's life. You become aware of yourself, your communities, and the world around you. A journey like middle school has the potential to inspire, mold, and immensely change anyone. Middle school gives you lots of knowledge and prepares you mentally, emotionally, and physically with much necessary luggage for your upcoming flights. Though it's not always the easiest to be on a flight, there is more good than bad. You learn what it means to be a part of something bigger than yourself. And even though it's bittersweet that we're landing and that this flight is over, so many more flights are yet to come in your life and beyond. Thank you. And now I would like to introduce Ms. Maggie Miller, the 8th grade dean, to recognize the Citizenship and Lancer Laurel Award winners. Thank you.
The Francis Parker Citizenship Award is awarded to students who best exemplify the citizenship values stated in our mission and middle school core values: community, collaboration, strength of character, and a demonstrated desire to make a meaningful difference in the world. These caring, responsible students have enriched the school experience for all of their classmates. These recipients were nominated by their peers and then determined by the grade level team with minimum teacher input. At this time, I would like to ask the recipients of this year's Francis Parker Citizenship Awards to please stand to be recognized and to remain standing. Ella Chua. Tristan Gunn. Chloe Kirby. And Jameson Tedrow. You may be seated. The Lancer Laurels are the highest honor earned by a middle school student. The Laurels recognize students who exhibit distinguished scholarship and citizenship and who enrich the school climate through their contributions to classrooms, student organizations, and leadership in athletic endeavors. At this time, I would like to ask the recipients of this year's Lancer Laurel Awards to please stand and be recognized and to remain standing. Olivia Berry. Eva Brennan. Kira Brennan. Tomas Gardner. And Siona Upasani. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mrs. Miller. Now I'd like to invite Emilio Medal, our ASB president for this year, to the podium to introduce the 8th grade advisors.
Hi, my name is Emilio Medal, and I will be introducing the 8th grade advisors. Please hold your applause until all advisors have been introduced. Mr. Rob Campbell teaches Making Our Modern America and Geography, History, and Culture in the middle school. Ms. Laurence Dharmalingam teaches French in the middle and upper school, and Mindfulness in grade 6 foundations course. Dr. Amy Hicks teaches English in both the middle and upper school. Mr. Jason Leonard teaches Mandarin in the middle school. Ms. Maggie Miller teaches Algebra 1 and Geometry Honors in both the middle school and upper school, and serves as the 8th grade dean. Her co-advisor is Ms. Erica Beekner. Ms. Beekner teaches dance in the middle and upper school, serves as a Performing Arts Department chair, and leads the coordination of our Discovery Week program. Ms. Danny Neubauer teaches life science and physical science in the middle school. Her co-advisor is Ms. Soren Carey, who teaches drama in the middle school. Mr. Cameron Townsend teaches physical science and engineering and design in the middle school. Mr. Julian Vadrine teaches Making Our Modern America and Geography, History, and Culture in the middle school. And now the 8th grade advisors will present their advisory students for promotion. To begin, I would like to introduce Mr. Rob Campbell.
A lot of work went into that. Thank you. Valente Acevedo. Eugene Cho. Eliana Dean McLeod. Cabot Dressler. Sophia Hu. Emma Karetny. Ari Kaufer. Maris Page. Alana Phillips. Knox Tiano. Savannah Wu. Suhani Wyburn. JJ Zabrowski. I'm just glad the screen is not showing my face during this walk. Oh, now it is. Okay, never mind. It's my pleasure to introduce Laurence Starmelingam.
Peyton Bradshaw. Tristan Chang. Tomas Gardiner. Tristan Gunn. Dave Lysinger. Sophie Mansour. Danica Swarsbrook. And now I'd like to introduce Dr. Amy Hicks.
Olivia Berry. Quinn Cafferty. Conrad Cislak Torres. Ella Henry. Chloe Chetty. Vivian Longman. Isaac Lua. Sachi Madhav. Juno Pierce. Audrey Rademacher. Naomi Ross. Owen Rinning. Benjamin Sierra. Elena Zamorano. Now, I would like to introduce Mr. Jason Leonard.
Oh, yeah.
That part. Lyndon Bodette. Vivian Blair. Archer Carr. Emily Chen. Oscar Ellison. Alice Lee. Alice Lilly. Andrew Liu. Emilio Medal. Liam Ng. Pavan Padiyar. Willie Reyes Ruiz. Blythe Salt. Now, I would like to introduce Miss Maggie Miller and Miss Erica Beekner.
Patsy Carter. Ella Chua. Andrew DeMeyer. Zoe Gilbert. Bennett Lee. Noah Magone. Miko Martinez. Clara McCowan. Adrian Nunez. Maya Pandya. Annabelle Saltzman. Sina Samimi. Evan Sen. Alicia Villanueva Wright. Gianna Zuzak. Now, I would like to introduce Ms. Danny Neubauer and Ms. Soren Carey. Preston Bishop. Henry Blum. Rafael Brunello. Myla Garcia. Sadie Goff. Hannah Grigsby King. Zinti Gu. Melanie Kareem. Aria Parmar. Nora Renning. Zoe Swank. Siona Upasani. Thendril Vanoth. Quinn Wolski. Aaron Wu. Now I would like to introduce Mr. Cameron Townsend.
Eva Brennan. Braden Brown. Alina Chung. Benjamin Gill. Maya Grigsby King. Sage Hansen. Suri Krishnan. Ha-Lin Lee. Sean Lee. Nancy Leisinger. Quinn Matthews. Isaac Pearson. Mateo Savoya. Ethan Sloan. And Deacon Whitfield. Now, I would like to introduce Mr. Julian Vidrine.
All right, I'm the last one. Let's sit on my right. We call that easy money. Catherine Blair. Kira Brennan. Jathan Dubois. Theodore Dunn. Aaliyah Givens. Riley Howard. Ava Corey. Sheldon Krupnick. Vincent Kuttner. Kira McFadden. Aiden Richardson. Ezra Saltman. Jude Sterling. Jameson Tedrow. And anchoring the middle school in Mr. Vidrine's advisory, Marco Walshak. Going to the same place. It's fine.
Thank you, advisors, and thank you, class of 2030. I'd like to, at this time, we have a second musical performance to enjoy today, and I'd like to present, if they could come forward now, Eva Brennan, with accompaniment by Y Ma and Mr. Zachary Miller, who will perform Autumn Leaves by Joseph Cosma. I'm going to suggest that you get. Okay, class of 2030, a few final thoughts for you. Today, June 11th is an important milestone for you. As I noted at the opening of our ceremony, today we mark the end of one journey, and we also mark the beginning of another. With your promotion today, you will become upper school students. Yet your educational trajectory towards making a meaningful difference in the world continues. This year has been marked by rapid and significant change in the world around us. And schools are often valued for how quickly they can adapt to those changes. However, I'm going to ask you to do something different. In fact, I'm going to ask all of us in the Parker community to do something different. I'm going to ask you to value the things that do not change. In a world of self-driving cars, science fiction level conversations with our electronic devices, and computer applications that can do just about everything for us, I'm going to ask all of us to prioritize the messy, imperfect, and analog world of being the best human you can be. Now, don't mistake my comments for nostalgia. Our work here at Parker is to prepare you for your future, not our past. Yet I want you to consider that part of that future, to my mind, the most important part, has little to do with the wonder and awe we see from our ever-advancing tools. The French author Jean-Baptiste Alphonse Karr coined a phrase that has been borrowed by many over the years. The more something changes, the more it stays the same. Now, for those of you who are about the same vintage as me, you might remember the pop band Huey Lewis and the News, who borrowed this quote as a lyric for the song I Know What I Like. You can play that on your Spotify on the way home if you need a little refresher. While aphorisms like this may only appear to be a little more than a throwaway line, they remain in our collective consciousness because they hold a kernel of truth. One of my favorite questions, especially for middle school students, and you probably hear this at home: why do I need to know this? And this is where Karr's quote is helpful. History, literature, philosophy, sociology, and all of the other humanities provide us all the important grounding for us, as our STEM fields show us a future that is so advanced that sometimes it's difficult to comprehend. Please be sure to hear that I am not valuing one side of your education over another. What I am doing is asking you to recognize that both your humanness and the frontiers of new technology are required to make a meaningful difference in the world. And that humanness has remained relatively the same. Consider the history you have learned about, the philosophical movements you have studied, such as the Renaissance and the Enlightenment. Consider the literature you have read, human beings and the art of being human. For all the differences that culture highlights today, I ask you to consider that your education, your Parker education, also shows us how much we are the same. Along with our mission, vision, and values, Parker's portrait of a graduate clearly indicates the human hope that we hold for each student. We are committed to developing students who think critically and creatively, communicate authentically and confidently, demonstrate intellectual curiosity and resourcefulness, lead with empathy, civility, and kindness, pursue the best version of themselves, engage the world as a conscientious citizen, embrace life's opportunities and challenges equally, and live a well-balanced and meaningful life. All of these outcomes that we hope for each of you requires every bit of you. It requires hard work. It requires persistence. It requires the pursuit of excellence. It is a challenge, and I'm choosing to believe that you are up to that challenge. In closing, I believe it's important to note that today is the opening of the World Cup. Now, because your promotion is so important, FIFA was gracious enough to push the start of Mexico's first game to 12 noon, just for you. On a serious note, events like the World Cup illustrate another concept I hope you absorb during your education. You are part of something bigger than yourself. For those of you who love the beautiful game, the World Cup is the pinnacle of the sport. Yet I would offer you that it is more than just 39 days and 104 matches of the best footballers in the world. It's the best, those best playing for something larger than themselves, their home country. It is the entire world pausing for just a moment to recognize that through football, we all belong to a global community, something larger than ourselves. Class of 2030, please remember that right here at home, you are Parker. You belong to something larger than yourself. Class of 2030, we celebrate you, we are proud of you, and we are grateful for the time that we have spent with you. We'll be cheering for all of your successes as you continue into the upper school here at Parker or begin a new path at a different school. Either way, you have been and always will be a Lancer. Congratulations, Class of 2030. Families are going to turn left outside of that door, and they'll meet you at the front of the Silverman Student Life Center, right over on stage left for me, but you're right. Have a great day.